Now, the first thing I want to talk to you about is a program that has multiple functions, okay? Let's talk about when you're young, you just joined the force, okay? Last thing you're probably thinking about is your retirement, okay? And I know it sounds wild, but if you start thinking about it now, you're going to really enjoy it when it comes. So the first thing I want to show is something called infinite banking. That if done right, you're going to be able to maximize your retirement, be your own bank when it comes to getting your own house, and have more than enough ample money on the side when it comes to your retirement. So I'm going to break it down what this program does, one concept at a time, okay? So the first thing is when we think about, we're putting money in our 403B, or, I know that's any kind of government 401k, if you will. I know there's tons of different codes for it from state to state with precincts. Any kind of 401k where you could put money and they match is what I'm talking about, okay? Now, a financial advisor will say, rule number one, never turn down free money. I would hope most of them would say that. But another one would say that always diversify your portfolio so that you can maximize your gains, but also be conservative enough where if things happen, you won't be able to, you'll be able to rebound from it, you'll be able to protect yourself, if that makes any sense. So let's talk about that, let's talk about, let's say something in your savings account, we can use a mutual fund or stock or anything, but let's use something that everyone really has a full understanding of savings. You still have $100,000, okay? Okay? This is in your savings account for your retirement, we'll say. This is in our savings account for our retirement. One of the really special features in this program that you have access to that you may not know to it is in a savings account. Let's say one day I want to buy a house. I know there's a lot of police officers out there. When they start a family, obviously they're going to want to buy a house, right? So what they're going to do is they're going to take $50,000, say we'll put a down payment on a house, right? Then they take another, let's go back. So they take $50,000, they put it in the house. What are they left with? What is it growing? What is it accumulating at? Every time I do these classes, it's always obvious. $50,000. Okay? Now with that being said, so now you have obviously $50,000 going to a house, $50,000 in savings, you still have $100,000 growing in assets. Okay? Now with our program here that you have access to and you probably don't even know it, if you had $100,000 in this account, when you borrow the $50,000 and you are still, you would think it's at $50,000 usually when I do this. Now how much do we have left accumulating? They'll say $50,000. It's actually $100,000. How do we do this? Because this account we set up, instead of borrowing from the bank, paying them interest on what you're borrowing, you set up an account where you can borrow from yourself. Now I say borrow. When we say borrow, there's an interest rate to it, right? But in this special program, when you pay the interest rate, all you're doing is putting it back into your savings. Amazing, right? So we call this infinite banking, to be able to take one lump sum of money and being able to use it for multiple, say, so for banking purposes, using to be able to have, say, multiple mortgages. And instead of you paying the 7% to the bank, you're paying yourself. How amazing is that? Now, with that same account as you're putting money away, we went over infinite banking. Now we're going to go through how this exact same program can not only help you buy a house, but it'll also maximize your retirement as well as maximize your legacy. So when you retire, okay, so we went through, as we get older, we're going to want to buy a house. Now we've had our family. We've put in at least our 20-year. We're getting our pension. Yay! Right? That's what obviously appreciate that you've been working to protect and serve, but I also know how important your benefits are, and I know how much you guys value your pension. So let's talk about how to maximize that, okay? using this same exact program that I showed you on Infinite Banking, I'm going to show you how this will also do all these things for you. So watch. When you retire, there's only going to be two options that's going to be presented for you. And it's going to be presented not only for you, for your spouse, and for your children. So I'm just going to give you an example, okay? You'll have option A, which everyone's, I believe, very familiar with. Option A, this was based on someone making $96,000 a year. Option A, you were getting $8,000 a month, right? $96,000 divided by 12, you're getting $8,000 a month. But when you had passed away, nothing went to your spouse. So if you passed away too early, there were so many widows that were having a hard time just, getting through their golden years, that pension started creating a really bad rap. And I mean, nothing went to your spouse and nothing went to your children either. So what they did was they came up with an option B, right? Option B looked very close to if you were, if you really cared about putting money aside for your family. It was looking closer to this. It was around like $5,500 you were getting per month, and you were even though you were losing $2,500, it was something like $3,200 to $3,500. I don't remember the exact numbers for the spouse as well. Okay, so if something happened to you, even though you weren't getting your $8,000, at least your spouse had something to protect her or himself. Okay, and if something happened to you and your spouse, there was zero legacy left for your children. So a lot of times when I go in the room, to be fully honest, because I've done so many seminars with police, at police stations, at banquets, a lot of times I'd say, who would like option B? And everyone that's single, there would maybe be one or two people that'd be funny and say, well, I don't got a family, so that money is all mine, And then I'd say, who would want option B? And then, someone very proud that they're taking care of their family say, well, I love my family, so I'm taking option B. With that same program that I was showing you on how to, do infinite banking, you have option C, that due to a conflict of interest, your retirement specialist can't tell you about. And what this option C is, it allows you to maximize, so they call it a PenMax program because it's maximizing your pension while still providing a stream of income, or you have the option to take a lump sum for your spouse. And if something were to happen to both you and your spouse, you would leave a legacy, a stream of income, or a lump sum to your children. And so what I do after that is I would go through now who in the room would want more information on option C. Obviously everyone in option A, not much really changes for them. But everyone that chooses option C, everyone that chooses option B, well, that's someone who's really interested in option C, because this is getting everything in option A, but you're able to take care of your family in option B. So if anyone has any more, if anyone wants to inquire more about what we did here, whether if it was infinite banking or if it was pension maximization, it's all the same one program. And in this situation, all we're doing is putting money from one pocket, we're taking out pennies on the dollar, putting in another, where we're able to protect our family and make sure that we get every bit of our pension that we were supposed to be getting, that we're entitled to. The idea of our golden years is to be golden, is for them to be our best years. So make it that way. Prepare, do your homework, do everything you can. Don't wait, you gotta be proactive. Don't wait until retirement comes and start planning for this. A lot of times it's I don't want to say too late, but you're a little bit behind the 8 ball. So let's really be proactive. I appreciate that I appreciate your passion in protecting and serve, and I hope that this helps you. And I may not be able to keep you safe like you've kept me safe for 36 years, but if I could do something to make sure that your family was safe, in a way that we were able to use these programs to not only protect you and your family, then I guess maybe I pay back just a little bit, right? So if you found value in the concepts that we showed you earlier today, or if you have any questions about your benefits or retirement, feel free to click below. We want to help.